Mom, I need the new LeBron Jameses.
Stop calling them LeBron Jameses. They're just called LeBrons.
It's my birthday!
We're in high school now. We're in high school now. Can you hook me up with that Wi-Fi password?
We're enjoying each other's company right now, Chad.
Kind of feel like that depends on who you ask, right?
Well, the numbers are in, and it's just as bad as you could have imagined. That's right. Who could have foreseen a middle-aged woman playing a high schooler as a failed concept on a television show? Well, just about anyone who isn't a paid critic. Now, the trailer for the upcoming TBS original comedy series, Chad, was widely disliked when it came out back in February. Chad 2021, Nassim Pedrad. See, they put comedy series in the title here so you know it's a comedy. Otherwise, if you watch this trailer, you wouldn't know. And I'm just going to share just a little bit of it. Just a little bit of it with you.
Mom, I need the new LeBron Jameses.
Stop calling them LeBron Jameses. They're just called LeBrons.
It's my birthday!
We're in high school now. We can't be losers anymore.
Why? Did you eat the lunch I made you? It was lamb stew.
Ha 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 ha
Do you ever eat just regular American food?
ha!
Peanut butter sandwiches with the crust cut off?
Don't be like, whoa! Wait a minute.
Oh, thank God it said comedy. So her mom goes on dates
It's all about
and
the children.
Nope.
Razzle dazzle, never gonna stop.
I promised Mom I would babysit the crap out.
clearly, this is a 40-year-old woman. So let's take a look at some of the replies. One thing TBS excels at is making shows that get canceled right away. I thought the show's premise was a middle-aged woman trying to pass herself off as a teenager. I didn't even think that a middle-aged woman was actually trying to pass herself off as a teenager. I didn't even know this was about a teenage boy. I thought she was a lesbian. How was this show picked up? It looks excruciating. Nobody, TBS. There aren't enough grown women playing teenage boys on TV shows. I thought the show was about someone who is really a girl pretending to be a boy. But no, we're supposed to believe that Chad is actually totally a male. And now let's see what Rotten Tomatoes thinks of it. 90%. 90%. Let's see what the audience thinks of it. Let's see. 26%. So if we look at some of the top critics, you'll laugh but cringe at the crass behavior of youth inhibited by a fully grown Nassim Pedrad. Notice how every positive review seems to include this actress's name. What? 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 I don't even understand how you can have this many positive reviews. There's only one negative review from a critic that reads, "It suggests a large cultural burden he's failing to live up to, rather than just failing to live up to the basic standards of being a person in the world. I don't know where that show went, but I would have really liked to watch it." How about the audience? Here's one. "I'm pretty sure these reviews are just written by creepy conservatives, like when they all trashed Watchmen. This is a pretty entertaining show and deserves a better rating." Oh, really? Let's see. Can I give it a 0? The concept is totally unclear. The lead is a female and is trying to act like a boy. Is the character trans? If so, are you making a mockery of the trans community? Congratulations, TBS. You found a worse and unfunnier show than Full Frontal with Samantha Bee. I had to watch the pilot to see why an adult woman would be playing a young teen. It's as creepy and insulting as the commercials. Plus, it wasn't funny at all. I'm sure TBS will carry it for 2 or 3 years since it pleases the liberal audience it aims for. But this show is horrible. When the critics are at 90% and the general public is at 25%, you know something is rotten. I watched the first episode, and that'll be the last. A 40-year-old woman playing a 14-year-old boy is creepy AF. Not to mention the show is just terrible on almost all levels. Chad is the worst sitcom, if you can even call it that I have ever seen. It was disturbing, awkward, stupid, creepy, and unfunny. Not that I would have made the show any better, but why not just have an actual teenage boy play the role? Nassim Pedrad cannot pull this off. Chad still sounds like a female when they talk and looks like one in bad clothes. You can't hide that with this fake thick eyebrows. The hookup scene was cringe-inducing. This is a horrible show. 40-year-old female actor creator playing the role of a 14-year-old. She's obviously, it's obvious that she is 3 times that age she's trying to play. Looks creepy and interacting with kids to, quote, act like one. I don't, here's the last one. And by the way, I'll prove to you that this isn't even just a Rotten Tomatoes thing. Look, I'm not going to deny that the existence of review brigading. It happens, both in positive and negative fashions. You know, the critics like to say that, like to pretend like it never happens where people are just, you know, pouring in with overly positive reviews, but it absolutely happens. I'm not cherry picking these. I'm just going down the list. I don't know who in their right mind greenlighted this show. Awkwardly horrible, horribly awkward. It's not believable. It's difficult to imagine a grown woman playing this role. It's like they stole the idea from American Dad. It comes off as so horribly desperate. I tried. I really did. I got through half the pilot and changed over to the Golf Channel, and I hate golf. The main problem with Chad is that it isn't funny. Life is too short. Pass. Okay, so the critics will now come out and say that everyone is just against it and they're brigading Rotten Tomatoes. How about IMDb, where nobody ever really talks about shows getting completely brigaded? It currently has a 70% one-star rating with a total score of 2.5. 2.5. Absolutely getting obliterated. Men and women by the same margin hate this show. I don't know if you look at the user reviews. A new bar has been set for garbage they will allow on television. I watched this purely for the cringe factor, and even going into it with that attitude, it was still a dumpster fire. At no point was this show watchable. I've never written a review for anything in my life, but this was so terrible that I had to tell the internet. How it didn't get canceled midway through the pilot is a miracle in and of itself. It actually isn't, though. It isn't a miracle that this show got created, because we live in the post-media era. We live in the post-entertainment era. We live in a content era, an era where it's more about hours watched or getting people to not change the channel than actually providing a high-quality product. Rarely do I write reviews, but this was so bad and full of cringe. Viewers should be rewarded. Every headline below this review with a 1 or 2 star best represents this show. I think TBS was looking for a financial loss. Here's one. Months of looking forward to Chad leads to total disappointment. I've always been a Nassim Pedrad. I've liked her and her work on SNL, as well as her work on the terrible cancellation of People of Earth on TBS. But this show is just terrible. This is coming from someone who heard about it 5 to 6 months ago and was counting the days till the pilot aired, positive it would be the best. And it was positive to be the best, smartest show this summer. I feel like a fool that I got roped into even watching 1 second of this. Nassim is so much better than this. Please recognize a sinking failure when you see one, because I feel like I deserve a medal for just finishing the pilot. But if we look at, actual reviews from the media, Nassim Pedrad boldly parodies adolescence and TBS. Nassim Pedrad tests how funny awkward can be. I mean, chat review. Nassim Pedrad delivers a cringe comedy gem. Every review about Chad is actually about the actress. Why do you think that is? It's because they are giving this a overly positive review because they're trying to appear woke. Cringe comedy gem? Are you joking? Like every one of these. Oh boy, Nassim Pedrad's sitcom is funny. Every one of these is shilling the show. But not a... I mean, 75% of fans hate it. Shocking, I'm sure. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hey, if you haven't yet, please do make sure you click that red subscribe button down below the video. YouTube is absolutely burying my videos now, and it'll be the only way you find them. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.